Hello and welcome to another edition of Draw Along with Dan. I'm cartoonist Dan Lietha, and today is going to be a little different for a lot of reasons. And I have an update too with the Draw Along with Dan features. Um, I'm going to be cutting back from my pace this summer. I thought, hey, I can just do a little half hour thing for lunch each day, Monday through Friday, and it's mostly been fun and fine and not too much of I've got a lot to do. So it was just another one thing to do. And I've been speaking at camps, which I'm going to tell you about too. And it's just gotten to be a little much. So even that little half hour, I'm going to have to push that back, cut that back a little bit. So I'm going to be continuing it, but I'll probably just do it once a week. So instead of Monday through Friday, I'm going to pick a day to be named yet. Today is the last day in July. So we're filling in July, and then August, we'll see how that looks. But like I said, I just got back from some Bible camps. I spoke at 3 different Bible camps this year. Actually, 2 camps for 3 weeks. So let's put it that way. So there were 3 different camps. Anyway, I hope that makes sense to you. But I have a long-standing tradition when I go to Bible camps and speak, because not only do I draw cartoons and I show off my artwork and stuff, but I also sing happy birthday to a camper or campers in Donald Duck's voice. So campers get to know me for that, and it helps open up the kids and get them talking to me, and I think they pay more attention to a speaker that shows up and interacts with them, and this is just a fun way to get them to do that. So I've been quacking for years, and now Disney is not something that I promote or push much anymore these days for a lot of, I think, pretty obvious reasons. From a Christian point of view, they're doing some pretty unchristian things. Not that they were ever Christian as an organization, but they were much more family friendly and produced a lot less objectionable material. And these days, they're going out of their way to produce objectionable material. They're fighting for a different worldview, put it that way. And so like I said, I don't do much promotion of Disney, talking about Disney and stuff, but Donald's from the old days, and I think he's been fairly safe. So if I can add Donald Duck into today, I want to have some fun with him, and then I'm also going to draw him too. But so along the way, there's going to be some quacking. So let's go to the drawing board, and I've got today's going to be sort of short. I don't have a lot of time today for a lot of drawing, but like I said, I just got back from camp and I've got a lot of stuff to do. So I hope you appreciate this. And I've got my microphone right in front of the camera here. I usually don't put that on mic, but since I'm going to be quacking today, I wanted it nice and close. Um, so for Donald, let's see the reference that I have. You make a kind of a circle there, and then I haven't practiced this at all, so I'm going in cold in a sense. Now, I've got a bit of a history with some Donald Duck artists, or an artist anyway. Um, when I went to art school, and I went to the Joe Kubert School of Cartoon and Graphic Art, and again, not a Christian school, but I was able to shine a bit there, I hope. And anyway, one of my teachers there was Milt Neal, and Milt was a Disney animator, and he animated like a crazy amount of Donald Duck films. So if you happen to have one of those at home, like the Three Amigos or all kinds of different stuff, he did some animation for Fantasia too. I believe it was the ballerina hippos that he did. Anyway, so so some interesting history that I have with some Donald Duck related things. But I have been drawing, I've been drawing for a long time, but I've been quacking like Donald since I was a kid. And I think I've gotten pretty good at it. I try to do some things that most people don't do. When I go to camps and I quack like Donald Duck, some camper will say, "Hey, my dad, quacks like Donald Duck," or I have an uncle that does that, or something like that. But then I do my quacking. Hopefully, I'm creating some interest here. I do my quacking, and I get questions like, "Do you do that for Disney?" They're asking this question because I think I'm pretty good at it. So you guys can listen when I do this, and put your comments below. See what you think. Um, and then I tried to warm up a little bit today too. So some days I do it cold and the mouth just isn't in it. It all happens in the mouth, by the way. It's not a voice thing. And sometimes it works a little bit better than other days. So I hope today's a good day. So I'm being pretty sketchy here. I'm trying to get the shapes right. And proportions are important when you're talking about this stuff. His eye goes more like that. And then his neck kind of comes out like that. And his little shirt thing, his sailor shirt. So you guys want to hear me do some Donald Duck? All right. Well, I'll try to do a sampling while I'm drawing here. In fact, I might have to adjust a bit for the hat. Now I'm going to draw his hat a little different than I see it here. So, okay, if there's anybody out there that has a birthday, I might as well warm up by doing happy birthday to you. So, so at the camp, usually I try to do it with a microphone because it works better to have it louder, and I have to tell the kids don't laugh because I start quacking right away and they start laughing and then you can't hear the rest of it. So, so here we go.
Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday, dear birthday people! Happy birthday to you!
Well, that was okay. A little rough. But so that usually gets the kids laughing and stuff and warmed up at the camp. And hey, God can use silly things. He uses cartoons and cartoonists, and this one actually does a little quacking like Donald Duck too. So and then I have some more stunt type things that I do with Donald Duck, where I try to make it more unusual and fun. And one of the things that I tell kids that I can do is that I can say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious in Donald Duck. And it's funny how many kids these days don't even know what that word is. But again, a word from another Disney cartoon, or well, live action, but it's got some animation in it too. So so here we go.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
So did you make that out? Now, one of the things that's very difficult to do in Donald Duck is to do a K or a K sound. And one of the inside jokes in our family is that, my wife and I are driving around and we see a craft show. And my wife knows of my difficulty with the K sound, K or C, craft show. And so she'll laugh at me and say, "Well, there's a twaft show," because when I say it in Donald Duck, that's kind of how I have to do the K sound is more like a T. And so I say,
Oh, there's a draft show.
so it comes out twaft show, something like that. So that's fun. And then let's see what else. Oh, and then whenever this can get really carried away, and my hand pays the price, I tell you. But it can be worth it too. Particularly when I was going to church in Marquette, Michigan, my hometown. The kids knew that I do Donald Duck, and so when they would see me, these are littler kids. When they would see me, they would run up to me with their hand in the air because they want to slap me 5. And when they do that, oops, on here, my marker, my pen, my stylus. I'm trying to make an adjustment here, and it's not working. I think I'm gonna have to shrink him down a little bit. All right, so the kids will run up to me with their hand in the air, ready to slap me 5. And so I'll put my hand out, and they'll hit my hand. Some of them just give me a regular 5. Others just with like all the energy in the world because they know they're going to get a good result. And so they slap me 5, and I usually go, so, or something like, or I laugh, something like that. So then they want to do more and more and more and more and more. So that can get carried away, like I said. So I have to kind of limit that. Otherwise, my hand is just going to be a mess. Little kids can really smack you with their hands. And then there's some other things that I do too, like I sneeze for them, which I think visually that's funny too. So, and then I might interrupt my video here for a second. I have a shirt that I wear at camps, and I don't do this right away. I wait until after I introduce Donald Duck, so they know that I do Donald Duck, and then I wear this shirt, and it has the different moods of Donald on it. So you've got all these different ones, amused, smitten, stressed, confident, cheerful, chill. Let's see what's the bottom one. And there's having problems. Okay, over it, grouchy, and wait, what's this one over here? Surprised. Okay, so it's kind of like a little menu of sounds to do, and they run up to me. I get a crowd of them around me, and then they start pointing and do that one, do that one, do that one. So that's a lot of fun. So I do the different emotions of Donald Duck. And back to the drawing board here. And then I also sneeze. So the sneeze goes something like this. And that tends to bring the house down. So that one's funny too. But and then I'll also take your requests for say this or say that type of thing, and so they have a lot of fun with trying to get me to say different stuff. As far as my history with camp goes, there's certain songs that you hear at camp and Sunday schools and stuff like that I don't know, somewhere along the line I thought, hey, I can do that song in Donald Duck. And so then I just started doing songs like Jesus Loves Me and Donald Duck. And those were always fun. But then I heard a song that was one of those fun, again, camp songs that I thought, that one I can do in Donald Duck too. And it'll be, it's a difficult song to say. And that's the fun of saying it, is it's kind of a tongue twister. And if you've heard the song, I have the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. Um, there's a verse to that song that says, "I have the wonderful love of my blessed Redeemer way down in the depths of my heart." And so, I I thought, hey, I can do that. And so I get up there and I perform that song too. So that's fun. I suppose you want to hear me do that too. Since I brought it up, I guess I might as well. So let me I have a glass of water here to, don't want to slurp too much in front of the microphone, but as I clear my throat, I actually I don't use my voice at all for this, so I don't know why I'm clearing my throat.
I have the wonderful love of my blessed Redeemer way down in the depths of my heart. Way down in the depths of my heart. Way down in the depths of my heart. I have the wonderful love of my blessed Redeemer way down in the depths of my heart. Way down in the depths of my heart to stay.
Yeah, that was kind of okay, medium. I can do better. But so that's a lot of fun. Again, it works better with a microphone. Now, this one of the past camps that I was at this summer, I was doing Donald Duck, and right away the kids thought, for some funny reason, that I was using some sort of a voice filter or something because I was using the microphone. And so I would have to go down right in front of them and and uh and do Donald Duck without a microphone. And then their eyes would get real big and their mouth would drop open and they would be, "Oh, so he's not doing that digitally." So that was fun. All right, let's see. I'm gonna do some. Those are my sketches. My sketch, which is pretty tight, and I might make some improvements there. It's not quite right. Um, so let's see if we can get it closer on the drawing part. Label my sketch. Choose the. All right, Donald. And then years ago, my mom and dad, my brother and I went to Disney again, long time ago, and I was able to get one of those hats, those Donald Duck hats, and it's a regular, it's like a regular baseball hat, kind of, but the brim of the hat is longer, and it's yellow orange for Donald's beak. And then on the top of the hat up here on the head part, it's got the eyes of Donald Duck and it's white and it's got so it looks like Donald's head. And so I've worn that from time to time at different things. And I don't think I've ever brought it to a Bible camp though. So, so let me get the end of his mouth right, or his upper lip. Let's see, that looks a little better. I think with some of the spacing inside the bill, his bill can be a little tricky to draw. Then the bottom part follows the mouth pretty well, although I screwed up messed up that. Oops, I'm trying to get my eraser here. So you'd think I'd be better at drawing Donald Duck since I'm quacking like him all the time, but I don't draw him at all. So, like I said, I really don't try to go in the Disney direction too much. But I thought since I just got back from camp and I did a lot of quacking, that I would do this just for fun. And if anybody in my audience is from the Lincoln Lake camp up in Michigan and Camp Sinago in the St. Louis, Missouri area, hey, Hey guys.
How are you doing?
Now, the Camp Sinago was the one I just got back from, and that camp, I wasn't able to do any Donald Duck for the most part with a microphone, so it didn't make as big a impact with them. But the Lincoln Lake camp up in Michigan, I had a huge response from that. In fact, I think we were in need of some entertainment in the lunch line waiting for the meal, and they were trying to make time go by. And so I kind of volunteered to do some Donald Duck on the spur of the moment there. And so it was without a microphone. And the microphone really makes a huge difference because then you can actually hear it real well. And the eyes, getting that eye angle really makes a difference too. That was not quite right. Now, I mentioned Milt Neal. That was my teacher for a year at the Joe Kubert School. I had a book that I had him sign, and he would draw a Donald Duck, like an awesome Donald Duck, in just a few minutes. He would just sit down and I mean, the guy animated who knows how many hundreds of thousands of drawings of Donald Duck when he was doing his animation drawings. Because that's what animation is. You just draw the same thing over and over and over again in different poses. But after a while, you just must be like a reflex. So I hope I'm getting the Donald Ducks kind of close. Not being an official Donald Duck artist. Trying to make this a little different from what I'm seeing too, so it's not straight copy in a sense. So if you have me at a speaking event sometime, and now that you know one of my secrets, it's not really a secret, but I don't talk about it a lot online. I've done it a little bit on my personal Facebook page, Quack like Donald Duck, but most people probably don't know that I do that, unless you've seen me at a Bible camp. So we're coming down to the end here. And the eyes are the last part. And as I'm finishing up Donald here, you know, the world is ever increasing its push to reject Scripture and God's Word and the biblical worldview. And so we're seeing things like that in beloved places like Disney and other places that were once upon a time more friendly and something you could recommend to people, but less and less these days. So I draw cartoons that point out the truth about these things, and sometimes I utilize drawing characters like this to warn others about what places like Disney are doing. And so sometimes the magnifying glass here is kind of hard to get a hold of. So as I'm finishing this up, let this be a prayer request to pray for, well, those at Disney. You can't say, "Well, pray for Disney." It's not a person, but pray for those at Disney that the Lord would open their eyes and change their hearts, and that they would submit to Christ and want to promote truth instead of lies, and that they would get saved. And that's what I would long for Disney, for those that are currently there, and they're pretty militant as far as what they think is true. People have a desire to fight for things that they think matters. And I don't have time to get into it today, but there's so many contradictions in, if you believe there's no God, then each of us has apparently the ability to come up with our own truth. So why are you spending so much time fighting for your worldview when each person has their own? It's pretty convoluted. But there it is, my version of Donald Duck. And I'm going to sign my name because I drew it. But that should help you know how to draw Donald Duck if you want to do that. And it was really a way for me to tell you about my Donald Duck voice and the fun that I have with doing that. So let's see if I can get this to, there we go. So I hope you enjoyed this Draw Along with Dan, a little bit different, and an update too with what's going to happen with Draw Along with Dan in the future. I'm not going to do another one this week, but next week I'll pick a day, and it'll be into August, and I'll try to do those once a week into the future, and we'll see how that goes. I want to do some other videos too that have more thinking content in them, and Draw Along with Dan's pretty light that way. So, but thanks for watching, and I hope that you subscribe and tell all your friends. And there's lots of drawings that I did this past summer that would keep you going for quite a while, so check those out. And again, pray for people that are promoting things that are not biblical, and that the Lord would open their hearts. And this video is kind of a reminder to do that. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.